Okay, Craig Wagner here,
Ooh.
Peter Christensen. This is the last page, page 7 of the new REPC, which in and of itself is a change because the previous version of the REPC was only 6 pages.
Only 6.
Now it's
Oh, you're getting
7.
more bang for your buck.
Yeah. So
More fun.
and obviously, there were some addenda that have now been incorporated into this that, frankly, your offer may now be more concise, depending on how many addenda you used to use. So section 25, this is an important section, okay? And this has always been an important section. Time is of the essence. That connotes, materiality in the contract, making sure performance is rendered according to those dates and those deadlines. So absolutely, this is an important section. Now, there is some new language added here.
Significant.
That talks now about this idea of the next business day. In what scenarios would those respective deadlines or time periods to deliver certain things, when would the next business day clause right here be invoked or apply?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's better or worse that it doesn't include every deadline. It has a list of deadlines, so you got to know which deadlines this applies to, which it doesn't. So earnest money, it's listed out.
Yeah.
The answer to your question, Craig, is that
Okay.
it's listed out in the section.
Perfect.
Earnest money delivery, earnest money deposit, or settlement deadline. So it really only applies to 3 deadlines. But you've seen this. This is familiar language. You've dealt with it in different aspects of your life, that if it ends on a holiday or a weekend, a non-business day, then the deadline is automatically kicked to the next deadline, the next business day as the deadline. And so just be aware. Sometimes you're guessing when the deadline will fall, or, usually you can look at a calendar. So, but if you're putting in the spans that some people still put, that would be an issue. But it basically, it's anything dealing with the delivery of money that it's giving you a banking day. Now, we always crafted these in 4-day deadlines anyway, because federal law says banks can't be closed, financial institutions can't be closed for more than 3 days in a row. But that would maybe only give you 1 day. This gives you the day on the back end to say, I still have Monday to get that money deposited or in, or whatever the case may be, settlement done.
And that language about the delivery and the deposit of earnest money, this is going to be important because of that page 2, that new language about a seller having a right to cancel if it's not delivered or deposited within that time frame. That time frame may, in some instances, be a little bit longer than just the 4-day, respectively, for delivery and deposit. So don't have your seller prematurely cancel if they're trying to look for a way out. They have to make sure that it still complies under this Section 25 section.
Right.
Section 26 is an entirely new
section.
It talks about 1031 exchanges. This is really just dealing with the cooperation if one of the parties is doing a 1031 exchange, but it doesn't obligate the other party to do anything that would result in any sort of, to do any sort of additions or modifications to the existing contract. It just says, I'll cooperate with you. I'm not going to delay the settlement or closing because of your 1031 exchange.
I like that clarification. Cooperation is sometimes needed in a 1031 exchange, but it's clarifying that doesn't mean the non-1031 exchanging party will take on any additional liability, and it doesn't mean they need to push back any deadlines. Cooperation does not mean that they will have to alter the contract or extend a deadline.
Right. Excellent. Section 27, electronic transmission or counterparts. All that language is the exact same, just obviously the location of the section. Section 28, this is where we get back to maybe filling in a couple of things, whereas everything else was pretty front-loaded. Just the confirmation of agency. So as the agent, you've been the one helping fill out the offer. This is where you confirm agency. Again, all this language is the exact same, but the location is just on the last page. Section 29, an entirely new section. This is describing the disclosure of interest by the buyer, because they're the ones, filling out the offer, so to speak, and their relationship with the agent, or if the agent, the buyer themselves, is in fact a licensed real estate agent. So just kind of reminding, because I think people want to disclose that, or they understand the need to disclose that, but
form
sometimes
to do it, an addendum to do it.
Sometimes it gets missed, and this was an easy reminder as you're filling it out.
Helps them comply with the timing requirements too, and the code of ethics.
Yeah, and it eliminates an addendum. So yes, it's on page 7 of the REPC, but you would have had to add an addendum.
But
before.
really, that was going to be page 7 anyway.
Exactly. And then section 30, you'll notice it's called the acceptance deadline. It's intentional that way. I think sometimes people would refer to this right to accept as a response deadline. It's not. So this was my
pet peeve.
Pet peeve's probably a little too strong, but just like mediation was your contribution, this is my contribution of, all right, let's start using acceptance deadline language and vernacular as opposed to response deadline. So it's a timeline. It's a time to accept. And so it's just, that's the time period. Everything else about buyer signatures and acceptance, counter, rejection, seller signature lines are all the same. And that is page 7 of the new REPC.
There you have it, folks. We're done. That's it. Make sure you take a couple classes on this.
Yeah.
Get well versed in this. Remember, the greatest asset you can be to your client is in keeping them out of trouble, making it a headache-free transaction, not clarifying any ambiguity, and that's what this contract is aimed to do. And so the better you know it, the better you can help your clients, you can serve your clients. And so take some classes. It's not perfect. I'm sure we'll find things that we wish we would have recommended different changes or language. We'll keep note of those, but I think I can tell you nearly every word of this contract was scrutinized in the process. Craig said it took a year. It's more like a year and a half, close to 2 years. Those discussions started a long time ago, and it's been a long process, but a robust process.
Or we got 2 years of discussion in 1 year. Is that? I don't know. That probably felt
like it.
I do want to thank the Forms Committee and their time and effort on it. Certainly Peter was invaluable, and everyone that has submitted changes or thoughts. I do keep a list of those, and I obviously know that not all of them made into this iteration of the REPC, but it was at the very least.
They were probably considered.
They were a talking point. Yeah, for sure. So excellent. I appreciate you tuning in for these videos.
I got to add in Craig, poor Craig. He had even more hair before this started. He did a lot of work, so big thanks to Craig. He took all the ideas. I don't know how many words he typed and then erased, because he'd come up with 3 different versions based on our discussions. There's so much of that. Hey, Craig, we're going to leave this in your lap. Come up with some language for this and then send it to us, and then we'd alter it again and again and again. So he was very patient, but did a great job, and so we're grateful Craig was able to manage that process so well.
Thank you. Okay, till next time, we'll see you.